Ms. Bryson, you have dragged the defendant, your ex-boyfriend, Mr. Mccarroll, into court today because although you admit to having sex with more than one man, you are here with proof that Mr. Mccarroll is the father of your 18-month-old son, Zylan Mccarroll. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mccarroll, you say that because of Ms. Bryson's admission, you have no choice but to believe that another man is Zylan's biological father. And after today's DNA results are revealed, you demand that Zylan's name be changed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Bryson, what is the nature of your relationship? You're separated?
Yes, ma'am. We're currently separated.
Are you working to get it back on track? Where are you all at in this?
We're not working on getting anything back in track because Mr. Mccarroll, he has whorish ways.
Wow.
And he wants me to be a whore like he is, and I'm not that type of person.
Mr. Mccarroll, you want her to be a whore like you are?
No, Your Honor. I have no idea where Ms. Bryson gets that from.
Are you just trying to say he cheats on you a lot?
Yes, every time we're together, he cheats. I wanted us to get married. Okay, and he doesn't want to do that.
Yes, I tried
because
to
he wants to be a whore.
I tried to structure everything about my life to make it where we would never have to be here in this situation, where she would never have to worry about who her baby daddy was or none of that crazy stuff. I was trying to work and go to
anything
school
that he does, Your
so
Honor.
that we could not be here and have question marks over these kids' heads. Like
everywhere he goes, he meets someone, and he always sleeps with them. Everywhere he goes.
It's not true, Your Honor.
What is true, Mr. Mccarroll?
I could see all this coming, and I tried to deter or avoid her from getting to this.
How did you see all of it coming, and what is it?
I could this situation where we got another beautiful young black woman that don't know who her kids' fathers is. That's steady.
Oh, you're a savior now.
I'm not a savior.
He thinks he is.
I'm not a savior, but I could have avoided this situation.
How could you have avoided that?
I could have avoided this by working and going to school and trying to make a better way for her.
And every time he worked.
And hold on, why is it you weren't able to do that?
Oh my God, I can't talk to my mother on the phone. I can't read a book without getting put out, cursed out.
Your Honor, when he did find a job while we was together, I was supposed to bring his lunch in for him. I called him, he didn't answer, and I know him. Anytime he don't answer the phone, it's a woman involved. And sure enough, it was. His friend, his best friend still to this day, they cheat together. They do everything together, okay? They do everything together. He was with
wait a minute. I want to go back to the part where you said you can't even read a book.
Yes, no, ma'am. I was reading, I believe it was Rick James' autobiography some years ago. As you could imagine, that is a very interesting book.
I bet it was.
Yeah, she upstairs with the baby. I'm downstairs because I'm trying to read. The baby was crying and whatnot.
I heard
Hold on. Let him finish the story.
I'm reading the book. She come downstairs huffing and puffing. I've been downstairs too long. I'm too quiet. I'm reading the book. What you want me to do, man?
The reason I came downstairs, I heard him on the phone with a girl that he had currently slept with. And we got into it about that situation.
Man,
and
how do you know that was a girl
anytime I
currently slept with?
I talked to her. He was telling her she upstairs sleep with the baby. When I get a chance to get out, I'm gonna come over and we gone.
I don't know where you got that story. I want to take a lot of
It's always I'm stupid, I'm dumb, I don't know nothing. Like he over here talking now like I'm the bad guy.
What was the nature of the relationship? What was going on in the relationship when you got pregnant with Zylan?
When I had gotten pregnant, we were separated. He was with another lady. And every time he comes over, he don't know how to keep his hands to himself. Even if I'm in a relationship, he still does it. As soon as my friend turns his back, he touching on me. And I tell him, don't do that. But while I'm separated, I do love him with all my heart. Everything in me loves him. I want all my kids to be his. Okay?
I can't tell.
So you were with another man.
Yes, I was.
In a relationship, then Mr. Mccarroll came over and touched you, and then you got pregnant.
I braided.
Thank you.
No,
Takes two.
No. Your Honor, I braided his hair. He came over. I asked the guy that I was in a relationship with, could I do his hair? He said yes. He came over and was flirting on me, touching on me. Every time we speak on the phone, I try to call and let him talk to the kids. Every time that we speak on the phone, he always flirts. I never, ever cheated on him when we were together. Ever.
You just cheat on other people with him.
Yes.
Thank you.
Basically.
Get it right. This is where she needs some guidance.
So basically,
and some
you're saying he's the cheater.
Yes, and he tried to make me look like the bad guy. Okay, in the past, I have cheated on guys with him because like I said, I love him, but when I got pregnant with him, I was with someone and I broke up with him and I told the other guy why I was breaking up with him because I didn't want to hurt his feelings.
And I can see that that really just upsets you.
I wanted to have a family with him. I wanted to get married to him. Like I said, I've been with him since I was 18. I love him. Any man I ever talked to know that I love him, okay? I wanted to have a son. I wanted to get married. He didn't want to give it to me. He didn't want to settle down, okay?
Yes, I did.
And I got it. And obviously ain't no man gonna be included in it because I haven't tried to even get into a relationship because I know I'm still hung over him. And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
You say you wanted to have a family. I understand that desire. A baby's not a consolation prize. It's not, oh, because I didn't get this man, I'll just have this baby and I'll just be all right. That's not how children should be brought into this world. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. In your mind, there is no doubt around Zylan's paternity.
No
you
doubt.
think that this doubt, he's just making this up?
He is. And I also have proof of that, Your Honor.
I'd like to see that proof. Jerome? You're handing up a calendar.
Yes, ma'am. That's a conception calendar.
Okay.
Based on that calendar, I could see my son on April the 28th.
In blue is the date you were intimate with Mr. Mccarroll.
Yes, ma'am.
Actual
And
date,
now
I want
in
to know how
pink,
you know that.
You have outlined the window of conception that you calculated.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't forget to put the other
How
thing in
did you
there.
get these dates?
Where his dot at? Or his circle or whatever.
I actually went online because when I found out that I was pregnant, I had currently went to the doctor a week before. I was trying to have a son. I hadn't had a child in 3 years. And I was currently going to the doctor. I took a test at the doctor and he told me I wasn't pregnant. So he scheduled me for an ultrasound on my ovaries. The next week I bought one just because and I was pregnant. And I bought 4 more and they also came out positive. And during that time frame that I slept with Mr. Mccarroll, he was with a girl, she was going to college or whatever. And he came over while she was at school and slept with me while he told me he don't remember.
I mean, I do remember. I'm just saying that's
No, now he remember. Now he remember.
I just said I remember that time frame.
So basically, you took the date of Zylan was born, which is January 23rd,
Yes.
and you did a conception calculation.
Yes, ma'am.
And you came up with this window of conception.
Yes, ma'am.
Outlined in pink. All right. Mr. Mccarroll.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember having sex with Miss Bryson on the 28th?
No, ma'am. We were having sex around that time, but on the 28th specifically, I can't say that. She might have been with that guy then. I have no idea.
The truth is, you all were separated at that time. You had another
Yes, Your Honor.
girlfriend you were dealing with?
Yes, Your Honor, yes.
Okay. Miss Bryson, when were you intimate with the other man?
Well, we slept together also on April the 26th. That's the day that I split up with him.
All right.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
April 26th, other guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so bad, though.
Miss Bryson, that's just 2 days before
Yes,
you
ma'am.
said you
I
slept with Mr.
understand that.
Mccarroll.
I understand that. Yes, ma'am.
Why are you not including him as a possible father?
Well, I just don't think that he is because my son, he looked just like my daughter. And also I have another 6-week-old by him. And they look the same when they were born. And that's why I just don't think the other guy is the father at all.
I think the total opposite. I think the new baby and my daughter look exactly alike, but Zylan does not look like me or my other
Apparently, he don't think the new baby does either because he also asked
I do
for a
think he
DNA
look
test
like
for
me,
him.
but I do want a DNA test for him too, just to be sure. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry to make you make that face.
You know, he probably remembers.
I mean, because who keeps having babies
know.
with people and you don't
I
know
wanted
if
to
you're
be
the
with
father,
her.
don't know
She
who the
just-
father?
Your Honor, he
What-
didn't
what
want
is-
to be with me because I love him. And that's my fault.
What is your relationship with Zylan right now?
I mean, I've been there I cut the umbilical cord out. He got my name. He in my house right now. That's me and him. She ain't there. I went and got him, talking about I don't never keep him.
But I have to do it all by myself. Now I have 4 kids. He give me $30 probably every blue moon. And that ain't helping taking care of no kids, okay?
Okay, well.
So why do you keep having them? You're 27 years old.
Young and dumb and
I wanna
in
take a
love
lie
with the
detector
wrong
test.
person. Like I said, I've known him for 10 years.
Your Honor, when I met her, she didn't have nothing. I took her, she had never
And
been...
she still don't have nothing according to you.
I'm
so what
trying
does
to
that say
get
about
that.
you?
Right. I'm
And she
trying
got
to
all
get
your babies.
that.
No, stop over-talking me. Stop over-talking me.
Go
Stop
ahead.
over-talking me. I want an answer to that.
I'm
Because
giving-
just a few minutes ago, you said to me, I could have prevented all this.
I could
if
have.
I could have just done this, it didn't have to be another beautiful black woman out here
Correct.
with baby. This nonsense you over here
Yep, but
testifying to.
I'm gonna make it-
What I want to understand is, you want to try to downgrade her in this courtroom, but she been with you on and off, having your children for 10 years, and her life has not improved at all. I want an
It's not
explanation.
my fault.
No. Yes, it is, because you said
Okay,
you could change it.
Let me finish. Let me let you finish.
No, I want an
All right.
answer.
Okay.
Because it's one thing to say, I've been with her, we've been on and off, I love her, we can't let each other go. It's another thing for you to try to downgrade her after you previously stated you had a system of avoiding
I'm trying
this.
to-
I buy everything for my kids. All my kids, every one of my kids always had a crib. They always had a bed. They had everything they needed. So I don't know why he even saying, just because I live in the projects don't mean I don't have a job and I don't work to take care of my kids.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm trying to explain it.
I take care of all of mine.
So let's get back to the paternity now.
Okay, thank you.
This courtroom is focused on Zylan
Yes, ma'am.
and how we can improve his life by ensuring that he knows who his father is.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is this. All of this doubt centers around this other man you were with.
Yes.
He's here, and I want to hear from him. Jerome, will you please escort him in the courtroom? Mr. Perkins, thank you for joining us.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe you are Zylan's biological father?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Why?
Because at the same time she was with me, she was messing around with him. Then I lost my train of thought just thinking about the stuff.
It makes you upset.
Yeah, because I found out that she was messing around on me. So she told me she was 99% sure that he was the father, and it's a possibility that I could be.
Did you know she was still sleeping with Mr. Mccarroll when she was with you?
No.
When did you find out?
When she got pregnant, she told me.
I split up with him. It don't make it right. I know that.
You split
I
up with Mr.
him.
Perkins, and then 2 days later you slept with Mr.
Yes,
Mccarroll.
I did, Your Honor. Yes, I did. And I told him that. I told him I didn't want to hurt him.
We were sleeping
I didn't
together
want
before
to.
that.
I didn't want
all
no.
through April. We
He's
was having
sitting
sex all through April. That whole
I'm telling you the
Listen.
truth.
If you knew there were potentially two fathers, because you told him there was a chance he could be.
Yes.
You knew there's just a 2-day difference between when you slept with him and when you slept with Mr. Mccarroll.
Okay.
Yes,
Conception
ma'am. And I
dates
was
all-
Well,
on.
hold on.
Yeah.
Why is it you named the baby Zylan Mccarroll after Mr. Mccarroll?
Well, I asked Mr. Mccarroll because he already knew the situation. Same, I explained it to him. I didn't want. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I didn't want my son to feel like if he had my last name. My other kids have their dad's last name, and that's one. I only have one that isn't his. I didn't want my baby to feel like left out. That's why I asked him, would it be okay if I put the baby in his name? And he said it's fine.
Is
Yes,
that correct?
Yes. He got
And-
my whole name.
And
pretty much.
did you say that because you believed the child was yours or because you were willing to take responsibility for the child?
I was willing to take responsibility.
Did you
for
sign the
child.
birth certificate?
The hospital where we live, if you're not married, they don't let them sign it.
All right, I'm ready for the results. Jerome? We have 2 results today. The first reads as follows. In the case of Bryson versus Mccarroll, when it comes to 18-month-old Zylan Mccarroll, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Perkins, you are not the father. In the case of Bryson versus Mccarroll, when it comes to 18-month-old Zylan Mccarroll, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Mccarroll, you are not the father.
Man, case closed. I ain't got no more to say. Say no more. Man.
Well, obviously, my calendar was wrong. And my ultrasounds, I showed both of them my ultrasounds. Everything said I got pregnant in April. That's what I was worried about. So I obviously got pregnant in May.
Who is Zylan Mccarroll's father? Do you know?
Yes, ma'am. I obviously got pregnant in May. I thought I got pregnant in April. I was real early, so I know who it is. I was trying to have a son, and I wasn't thinking.
Who were you trying to have a son with?
Initially, I wanted one with him, but he wasn't ready. Like I said, I had to beg him. He wasn't ready to settle down. I was promiscuous, okay?
So you made the decision you were going to sleep around with anybody and then you're going to get a son.
Right, I did. It was a dumb decision.
Mr. Montgomery, you say Ms. Parker led you to believe that you fathered her 3-month-old son, Timothy Montgomery. You say you were present at the birth, named the baby, signed the birth certificate.
Yes.
But now, Ms. Parker says, you're not the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
You've petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove that, in fact, you are Timothy's father. Ms. Parker, you claim to be 100% positive that Mr. Montgomery is not your son's biological father because your fiancé, Mr. Lanou, is.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you say today's DNA test will finally allow you to get rid of Mr. Montgomery and allow you to remove his name from your son's birth certificate.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Montgomery, why do you think you're Timothy's father?
Well, Your Honor, I believe I'm the father because, you know, I loved her. You know, me and her were together. We were sexually active,
you too.
You know, and without a shadow of a doubt, you know, I just believe, you know, firmly that this is my son. You know, I mean, I was there, you know, through the pregnancy. You know, she allowed me to sit there and sign the birth certificate. And what the funny part is, she allowed me to name the son after my deceased father.
Ms. Parker, why would you allow him to do all of these things? Sign the birth certificate? At that time, did you or did you not believe he was Timothy's
I thought he was the father.
You did?
Yeah, because he looked just like Mark in the ultrasounds.
So during the ultrasounds, you felt like they resembled?
Yeah, they looked just like him. And I believed that he was the father.
I had
Mark.
But you knew you were sleeping with him during the same window of time.
You can tell what a baby looks like.
I had sex with both of them around the same time and the same day.
I mean, you know, I've had one of these. You're talking about one of these 3D ultrasounds? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
I know what you're talking about. I had one of those, and I know what you're saying when you look at the baby and you pick out features and you say, oh, so I can understand why you could say to yourself, oh, I think he kind of resembles, but there's no way that if you were sleeping with another man during the window of conception, Ms. Parker, you could say, or you could rule out Mr. Lanou.
It did bother me, though, throughout the whole pregnancy.
She's blind by the fact that she actually did love and care for him.
I did love him.
I left everything I knew in Cleveland, you know, my family. I had a good paying job that I had. You know, I sat there and, you know, left my family, my friends, everything I ever knew behind so I can go down there and be with her. So I can be the best father and family man that I could possibly be for her, her kids, and my son.
Yeah.
And you did that with the understanding, the belief that this child is mine.
Yes, Your Honor.
I thought he was the father. I believed in my heart that he was Timothy's father.
So talk to me about how you were in a relationship with 2 different men.
I was with Mark, and he was always on Xbox. He wouldn't even have sex with me during the whole pregnancy because he felt weird.
So you're in a relationship, you're not happy. You feel like he's paying more attention to
I was.
Me and her first met, it wasn't even like that. He wasn't even in the picture from what I've seen.
You are
He had done left.
He pried on my girlfriend when I was
One
with
at
her.
a time. One at a time.
A mutual friend of mine and hers introduced us. He wasn't even in the picture at this time. She still had strong feelings for him, so I stepped back and let him come back. In the meantime, we're finding out that he's talking to her friends, talking to other women.
Right, but you prying on a woman who's with another man, right?
He's seen
I didn't. If you would have stepped up, been there, and actually satisfied her needs, you couldn't have.
Let's get some order. Calm down. You have to talk one at a time. I can't hear you. But you're not going to clown up in here. I am going to ask questions. I need to get the answers because ultimately there is a child on the line. We're trying to figure out who Timothy's father is. And what we're trying to do is figure out how we arrived at this point.
Youngin, this is a grown folks talk right here.
Yeah.
I think honestly you're
like
more
I was sitting
mature
there
than
saying,
Luke.
Jerome, do
That's
me a
why I'm
favor
the one
and please
with the
stand
job.
in between.
I have a
these two.
job.
Where's all this money going?
It's
Yeah.
going to him.
No, it's
Going
not.
to
I have
him.
not once
Trust and
got
believe,
it.
my son will have what he needs.
That's funny because
not
I'm the
what's
one
got
down
it.
there right now putting diapers on
Yeah,
his ass,
because you
buying
snuck
formula,
behind
buying
my
clothes.
back and you bit on my girl, homie.
So
I
honestly,
asked because I had a
Before
feeling.
you got pregnant, you ended up with Mr. Lanou, right?
Your Honor, me
during
and
So
her
how'd that
from-
happen?
Mark.
The first time he had left was the first time me and her had met. Throughout the whole time,
He had
even
broke up
told
with
him
me.
that we were sleeping together after he
no,
came
they
back.
didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No,
He
they
I
used
was
to
didn't.
go
there.
upstairs to
He
shower,
told
and I'm
No,
over
they
there
didn't.
having sex with her downstairs or the same chair he's sitting in there
Yeah.
playing Xbox.
He was
in
up there taking a
24/7.
shower.
Xbox,
He's laying sitting
right.
inside playing Xbox. Well, I got
played
her to meet me out
Xbox,
back
but yet
in
I'm
the
not
woods
registered
while
for
we're
one,
having
but
sex.
2 semesters of college.
Ladies
you're broke.
and gentlemen,
They'll use respectful
if
language.
I have to keep hitting this gavel and telling you all to be quiet, I will just dismiss the case and nobody will have an answer today. You were sleeping with Miss Parker while Mr. Montgomery would be in the house.
Upstairs in the shower. I even told him that we were sleeping together, and all he
No,
did,
you didn't.
we was
I
face to
did.
face, and all he did was walk to the stairs, sit down, and cry. I straight up told him, name a date, name a place. If you got a problem, you can square up with me any day. I won't
And
back
so
down.
You're
when
a frail body who has to lie about being in the military,
Montgomery,
homie.
Mr. Montgomery, do you remember this conversation when you
No.
found out that they were sleeping together?
Absolutely not, Your Honor.
Were you ever aware that they were sleeping together
I had my
before
suspicions.
Timothy was born?
Before Timothy was born, no, I had my suspicions, but I had never had, concrete evidence that they was actually sleeping around.
So clearly, Miss Parker, you're sleeping with both men.
Yeah.
At a certain point.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then you end up in the hospital having your baby. How is it that Mr. Montgomery ends up in the hospital with you, going through this with you, when you knew it was a possibility that both men could be the father?
At the time, I didn't know it was a possibility that Lanou would have been the father of Timothy.
I'm sitting there, I'm holding him for the first time, I bring him to, her face, so she can see him because she had a C-section. I'm sitting there crying. I even told myself that, when he was born, I was like, I'm not gonna cry. Was I nervous? No, I was excited because the simple fact of the matter,
was nervous.
I was told that I was gonna be a father. And unlike most men, I was damn proud to hear that I was gonna be a father. That little boy means more to me than I can even possibly
You
put
act
into
like
words.
it doesn't bother me.
Miss Parker,
Where's your
at
proof?
what point do you tell Mr. Montgomery, excuse me, there was another man in the picture?
I told him, and
3 weeks after he was born?
No,
Your
that.
Honor.
Yep.
But this is because during that time, Your Honor, that he had threatened to take Timothy.
Your Honor, she
without
threatened
her
to
knowledge,
take
in the
my
bed
take
kid.
him to
after
Cleveland.
The first
No.
time she was able to have sex after the baby was born, she waited until after we were done to sit there and
No,
tell
I
me,
had sex with
oh,
Luke before I had sex
he's,
with you."
I don't think you're the father. I think, Luke's the father. And I'm still laying in the bed with this woman naked.
That's when you decide to tell him?
Yeah, I
Yep.
was hurting, and it was hurting me. It was killing me
couldn't tell me before?
inside. No, because I was
Couldn't tell
too
me when
scared.
he was born?
So, Mr. Lanou, how were you feeling as Mr. Montgomery went through all of the motions, got to be at
it
the
hurt.
hospital?
It still hurts.
He named the baby after his father. I mean, he's doing the most.
I actually was going to show up to the hospital, but out of respect for her and that unborn child, refused to because I know that it would have caused a disturbance between me and him.
Oh,
You
it
know,
would've.
I had
So
obviously
you
got
have to
into
just
it.
endure this. You knew
I didn't
that
have
you
a
had been
choice.
sleeping with her.
A man always has a
Did you
choice.
know as well that there was a distinct possibility that you could be this
Absolutely,
child's
Your Honor,
father?
And I even had stated to her that
I
previously
told him
on
it
Facebook.
wasn't because I didn't want to believe it.
Because she loved Mark.
I loved
she wanted
Mark
to be
at
with
the
Mark.
time.
Okay.
Right, this is when she was with me, I was supposed to sit there and be
You-
engaged to her, and now a month, here we are about, 2 months later almost, and all of a sudden she's engaged to another man. I mean, I just don't see how you can move that fast from one man to another man, feeling, like you love a person that much, sit there and get engaged that quick. when you supposedly love me the way you say you do.
I
She
did
wanted to
love
love
you.
you. You kept giving her reasons to stop caring.
No,
stop
you
loving.
gave her
You were
reasons to stop
Before
caring
we
about me.
get into an argument that leads us nowhere, I want to know who's been stepping up for Timothy.
I've been there.
Mr. Lanu.
Mr. Montgomery, you haven't been stepping up? Is
No.
that by choice?
She wanted me out.
I did.
And I granted her her wish. She sat there and came to me, you know, I told her, I was like, you just don't seem like you want to be with me no more. She said, I don't. She told me she would
Because
rather
you
be
were
with Luke
cheating.
because, no, she said she would rather be with Luke because he was the more plausible father of the child.
Yeah, I
And
did say
regardless
that.
of how bad that hurt me to sit there and leave my son behind, I sat there and I granted her that wish because I'm not going to force a woman to love me. I can sit there and try, but if it's not being returned, then what's the purpose to sit there and keep trying to make someone love you that obviously doesn't?
Your Honor, at
And
one
while I agree with that, when you believe you have a child or either a young, innocent life that could potentially be your child, just because you leave the woman doesn't mean you leave the child.
Oh, and she called me, video Facebook chatted me on Father's Day to sit there because she goes, oh, well, on the off chance that, you are Timothy's father, I thought you would like to see him on Father's Day. I respected that, it made me feel good. I got to see my son on Father's Day. I'm sitting there crying the whole time after I get off the phone with her because I can't sit there and look at my son without crying. I took his picture off the background of my phone because I can't look at his picture more than 2 minutes without bursting into tears. This is my son, and it was dragged away from me by a conniving man who decided to sit there and come in between a relationship.
So, Ms. Parker, if Mr. Montgomery is in fact Timothy's biological father, what then?
I will let him see him.
You'll let him be a part of his life?
I would. Just not, taking him places, far away.
I want to be able to spend days, weeks, months, years. I want to teach my son right from wrong. I want to pass my father's legacy that he passed on to me, on to my son, to him. And I can't sit there and do that, when she's going to sit there and try to tell me, how everything's going to be. That little time is going to do nothing but make me want more. And when I can't get more, what am I going to do? All I'm going to be able to do is sit there and cry myself to sleep every night, just wishing I had more.
You act like it doesn't bother me.
Let me ask you this. What other facts do you have that support your belief that this child is Mr. Lanu's?
It's just I cheated the whole time I was with Mark.
But I cheated.
You did cheat.
Okay.
It's
What?
also
I
the
did
fact that
cheat
he's
because you
tried
cheated on
conceiving
me.
children, 2 other women who, until he left, could not conceive a child.
Do you really want Timothy to be Mr. Lanu's child
Yes,
because
I do.
you want to be with Mr.
No,
Lanu?
because he is honestly more active with all 3 of my kids. I want him to be Timothy's father. He's more
Well,
interactive.
wanting and having a reasonable basis to believe he's the father are 2 different things. Do you really want to be with Mr. Lanu and you want to have a life with him? So
Even
that's
if
why you
he's
want
not
him to
the
be?
father, I want to be with him.
I've been there. I'm
No, you
all he
haven't.
knows.
No, I was
Yes,
there
he
when
has.
we first started being able to see.
I've been there since
Right,
Timothy
that's
was
why
1
He was
month
1
old.
month
monkey
old.
face I would give him. That is my monkey man right there. I sat there and fed him
No, you
bottles. I
didn't.
changed diapers for him.
A few
I walked him
times.
around that complex.
One
I
time.
didn't know. One time.
One
whatever.
time.
Whatever. I have people who live in the same complex of her, Your Honor, who could sit there and vouch that they watched me walk around with my
One
son
time.
more than one time.
No.
That they watched me be outside with her 2 other kids countless other times. Because she
All right.
wasn't going out there with them.
All right, I've heard enough. Jerome, I'm ready for the results. Thank you. Will you please stand in between them for the reading of the results? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Montgomery versus Parker, pertaining to whether Mr. Montgomery or Mr. Lanu is the father of 3-month-old Timothy Montgomery, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Montgomery You are not the father. Mr. Lanou, you are the father.
That's my baby.
In my eyes, that's still my son, though. I was there for his birth. I sat there and was there for the first month and a half of his life. Regardless of what them results read, in my eyes, that'll always be my son.
Ms. Parker, how do you feel right now?
I'm happy. Mr. Lanou is the father of my son Timothy because he's more involved with Timothy.
Mr. Lanou,
Yes.
This man,
how do you feel now to know
It's like a
for
weight
certain?
lifted off my shoulder. I mean, the pain of not being able to be there. I'll do whatever it takes to make sure he never has to face, a struggle in life. Blood, sweat, tears, it don't matter.
Please
That
do.
baby will be taken care of.
regardless about how I feel about you, man, please do.
Ms. Bosley, you and your son have petitioned the court for a DNA test because you are certain he did not father the defendant's 3-month-old son, Maverick, and there are 2 other possible fathers. You say your son made a young and dumb mistake by signing the birth certificate, and you need today's paternity results to get his name off of it. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Jackson, you admit to cheating with another man, but claim to be certain that Mr. Bosley is Maverick's biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Bosley, explain why you opened the case.
Well, I opened the case because I feel like my son made a terrible decision by signing a birth certificate. Basically, I just feel like, we need to know. We need to know because I don't want my son to have to go through life wondering if this is his child or not.
So you feel like you got to save your son from a mistake he made.
I do.
Mr. Bosley, you signed the birth certificate,
Yes,
even though you had doubts?
I did sign the birth certificate, not saying it wasn't the right thing. It was stupid because I didn't know her.
So, Ms. Jackson, Mr. Bosley says he made a mistake.
Well, my testimony is, in the beginning, we were working together, and he was starting off like, "Oh, I love you. Do you believe in love at first sight?" And then the next day we was talking, and then we had sex, and then he was talking about, the kids and all of that. And then I asked for a break because we were moving too fast. I already said that we was moving too fast in the beginning.
So you meet and you almost immediately start a sexual relationship
Correct, Your Honor.
and start talking about having babies?
Correct. At first, I didn't believe it because I heard it once before. So
Yeah, because that's what men will say
Yes.
just to get you to lay
Yes,
down
Your
with
Honor.
them.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
They make it sound like they want to have a family,
Yes, Your Honor.
but they saying it to everybody. So you do sleep with him.
Yes. And then, I think I had my own place at that time, and I moved him in. Then that's when the cheating, I made my mistake. I'm sorry, I made my mistake in the beginning of that 2 weeks of me not knowing if this is real or not.
So, Mr. Bosley,
So, Your Honor.
Well, Your Honor, the situation was how she told me we was at the house chilling, relaxing, and she basically came from out of nowhere. A dude, one of her ex-boyfriends, popped up at the house. Yeah, popped up at the house.
popped up.
Yeah,
So,
No,
wait,
Your
what
Honor.
happened?
he popped up at the house, and she went to go talk to him for a little minute or what so. But the whole time I'm looking out the window trying to make sure, ain't nothing going on. But at the time I was fine with that because we wasn't really together. We was just talking. We didn't ever fully get together until.
So you sitting, but you wasn't fine with it because you were looking out the window while she was talking.
Because I just wanted to make sure,
Exactly, because you weren't fine with it. You have admitted, Ms. Jackson, I made a mistake. You used the word cheating and then you cleaned it up and said a mistake. What happened? You tell me, because I can't get it out of Mr. Bosley.
I had gave oral sex to this person.
And I don't.
And
what
and
man,
he, and
Your
he
Honor,
says,
what man will believe that she only gave you oral sex?
This is exactly why y'all don't have no business young, running around here, using sex like it's like an extracurricular activity.
And Your Honor, just to interject if you don't mind, if you don't mind, I wasn't there during the whole sex and cheating thing. I found out she was pregnant at maybe about 4 months, maybe. And I told my son immediately, that's not your baby. Like, you've been with her not even long enough.
So, Ms. Jackson, when you found out you were pregnant, you told Mr. Bosley?
yes, Your Honor. And then he was like, oh, wow, you are. You know, he was excited about the situation.
Your Honor.
And
Your Honor,
And y'all had known each other all of 2 months then, and y'all was excited?
It was
it
a guy-
wasn't 2 months, it was a month.
It was a month.
Yep.
No, I wasn't excited. The 2 guys she cheated on me with, those was the guys that we worked together with.
Oh, so all of you all co-workers?
Yes, we all was co-workers.
Your Honor, I only cheated on him once.
I didn't.
And that's with the person that was at work. But I did have sex with one other person that was there at the job. And that was the person that came to the house. The other person that I didn't have oral sex or
This
sex.
is a mess. This is a mess.
Yeah.
How many people you gonna sleep with at the same job? When are you working?
That's why I'm here. This baby
Right.
is what matters. And clearly, this situation here, nobody knows anything. All they know is that they were just sleeping.
It just adds up that she has slept with 3 men on her job. There should be no young woman out here sleeping with 3 men at her job. And that's why I'm like, what's going on here?
I feel like, Your Honor, it goes a bit deeper than that because you
it's
just
deep.
don't
No,
have
it's
women
deeper.
out here sleeping with men on their jobs. Like, something is a bit deeper than
Oh,
that. I don't know what it is.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
It does
On both
go
ends.
deeper. It does go deeper than that. This is about 2 kids, young people. You all out here spinning, and you're engaging in activities that create people, and it did. Maverick is 3 months old, beautiful, innocent child. And I'm trying to get the circumstances as to what was going on when he was conceived, and you can't even tell the story.
My last menstrual cycle was March 14th. And when I did have oral sex with that person, I was on my menstrual cycle at that time.
This is not about just the oral sex. You need to understand this, Ms. Jackson. This is about the fact that your child's paternity is in question. If you have slept with 2 coworkers, given oral sex to one, while you supposedly getting to know Mr. Bosley, no, it's not so far-fetched that people would also assume that you may have slept with that person or maybe even another person. At this point, you giving yourself away for free. And that's another thing that I haven't gotten to yet. Because there is no reason a beautiful young girl like yourself should be running around here laying around with this many men. It's unacceptable. And like I said, I'm not saying this to you. Look at me when I'm talking to you, Miss Jackson. I'm not saying this to you because I'm angry at you. I'm saying it to you because I don't know if you have anybody in your life to sit you down and say, you don't do that. You don't do that. Did you grow up with your dad in your life?
No. He denied me too. And it hurts. It hurts.
I understand.
I don't want my son to grow up like that without his dad in the picture because I know how it feels and I have my daddy issues. And growing up is hard.
I understand what you're saying. The way you feel about that, your actions are a reflection of the fact that you don't feel worthy. But that's not the way we go about it, baby. Because now you see what has transpired has led you to repeat the cycle. And that's what we're gonna break today. Somehow, some way. So, Mom, I wanna ask you, you say you know who Maverick's biological father is.
Well, Your Honor, I was actually how the situation went about. I was in her phone one day, and I scrolled down. I was on Snapchat basically, and I had seen the dude, and I said he looked just like my son. I'm like, what? Like,
Your Honor, he sent me that picture, and immediately, just in all honesty, I was like, that's not your son. Immediately, because this made me think twice.
And Mom, once you got that picture, you believe this other man is the father.
For sure.
Well, you submitted the messages you saw.
see, look.
And this is between Ms. Jackson and the man you believe is the father. It says, I need some blank. That's what Ms. Jackson says. He responds, blank, you can come this way, babe. And then Ms. Jackson responds, blank, hell yeah.
So, Your Honor, he resembles this man.
And
in my
so
eyes.
you think this other man is Maverick's biological
Could
father?
possibly be.
Possibly.
Well, this other man is here, and I want to hear from him. Jerome, will you please escort the other gentleman into the courtroom?
Wow.
We're gonna go right up here. Stay to the left.
Let's see.
Right up here.
Mr. Green, thank you for joining us today.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to ask you, what's your relationship with Ms. Jackson?
We met through a friend, and then we started talking through social media.
All right, so was Ms. Jackson interested in a sexual relationship with you?
Yes, Your Honor, she was trying to have sex.
So do you believe you are Maverick's biological father?
No, I don't. I just came here to prove that I'm not.
So each of the young men have submitted their baby photos, and when you align them with Maverick's, there's Mr. Bosley as a baby, there's Maverick in the middle, and then Mr. Green as a baby.
I just want to know. That's all I'm really. You know, it's a kid on the line, and no disrespect to you. That's why I called you up that day. You know.
It's not a kid,
I
it's a child.
just want to know.
And at this point, what are you hoping for, Mr. Bosley? Do you hope Maverick is your son?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
If he minds, then we can move on. But if he's not mine, I'm gone. It's simple.
What are your hopes, Miss Jackson? What are you hoping for? I know you want to break the cycle for your beautiful son.
I want him to step up. Walking in the house and going back out, that's not enough time. Because it feels like that's what happened to me.
Your Honor, if I can just interject. My son, I love him. However, he's wrong in this too. Because you can't just keep running around making babies and not doing what you're supposed to be doing for them, period. I told Pearl when I saw that picture, I felt like, okay, this is not my son's baby. So we've had a conversation. Even if it's not his baby, I'm still gonna extend the olive branch to her.
Well, the olive branch has been extended and accepted because your son signed the birth certificate.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I even asked him, did he want to sign the birth certificate?
She didn't ask me.
Yes,
that.
I did.
Why did you sign it?
Same way he was sitting out
caught
there
up in
looking
my-
out the window while she was sitting in the car with another man. And the same reason why she came back in and said she had oral sex with another guy
I
and he
signed it
still
because I
moved
felt
in.
like he was
and the
mine.
same reason why
That's
he
it.
looked at them messages and is still in here. It's the same reason why. Jerome, I'm ready for the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case case of Bosley versus Jackson, pertaining to whether Mr. Bosley or Mr. Green is the father of 3-month-old Maverick Bosley. It has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. Bosley. That is your son.
Okay.
Your biological son.
Well, that's off my chest. That's all I came here for. That's all I wanted. I wanted him to be mine, so that's all we got, what we came here for.
I'm happy. I'm happy for Maverick. But the way you have approached your sexual relationships thus far makes me want to caution you that if you continue to use sex as just an activity, that you will end up here again. And if he tells you a half a line or tells you you look cute today, you gonna be back up there with him, and you know I'm telling you the truth. That's why I see that tear. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And every woman has that moment. The next thing you know, you in the bed, halfway down to making another baby with him, and I think you know what I'm saying. I can see it in your eyes. You get it, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
I just can't stand to see a beautiful young woman just give herself away. And you gotta ask God for discernment. What am I, about to be 50, Jerome? I'm about to be 50 years old. I still ask God. I pray for discernment. Let me be able to see what's really going on. Right?
Yes, Your Honor.